Hi, boys and girls. So, Mrs. Corwin and I have been talking about your writing, and we're noticing a lot of the same things keep happening in all of your writing. And it's things that all of you know exactly what to do, but maybe because we've been out of the classroom for a little while or you're in a different environment, you're forgetting to do those things. So, you're only getting two assignments a week in Mrs. Corwin's class. And we thought that you should be producing quality work since it's not a ton of writing. And they're all things that you guys know how to do because we've reviewed them many times throughout the year when we were in the classroom. It's just a matter of remembering to do them when we are in the classroom. So I've made a little checklist here, and we're going to be giving you one in a Google Doc that you can print out. You can use your screen to go back and forth after you're writing. You should be writing a fair amount of information in your writing prompts when they're given to you because you are incapable of doing that. The first thing that we're going to go over is capital letters. Every sentence, we all know, every sentence needs to start with a capital letter, but many of us are forgetting to do that in our sentences. Not only do we need capital letters at the beginning of a sentence, but we also always have to capitalize the word I. We're important, right? So we have to get a capital letter when we're talking about ourselves. So you need to read through your writing and check sure that you've capitalized every letter I when it's a word. And in the same way, because I is a proper noun, any proper noun needs to be capitalized. So that's a name of a person, a name of a place, or something that has a title. That's a proper noun, and it needs a letter. So when you're done with your writing, you should be going back and looking, did I capitalize everything that needs to be capitalized? In the same way, the next point is the punctuation. Did I use correct punctuation in my writing? And yes, I am talking about end punctuation with our periods, our exclamation points, and our question marks when we're asking a question. But I'm also talking about commas now. We've given you some lessons on commas when we were in the classroom, and we just did a review on commas in a list when we're listing things when we write, or if we're combining ideas in a sentence, or to say what we mean, we have to use commas properly in a sentence. So when you go back over your writing, make sure that you're reading for punctuation as well. Nouns and verbs agree. So I'm hoping that you all remember a noun is a person, place, or thing, and a verb is pretty much an action, like what our noun is doing in the sentence. So when I say that they agree, I always say that they have to be friends for our sentences to make sense. So when you're reading, did I say the girl walk in the park? Something's wrong there. My noun and my verb don't agree. My noun is the girl and the verb is walk. When I say the girl, it should be walks. I walk in the park, you walk in the park, she walks in the park. Okay, so you have to make sure that your nouns and verbs are making sense when you're writing. The next thing is also with our verbs, we talk about verb tense. And when I say tense, it means when something is happening. Verbs are a very important part of our language because they tell us what is happening and they tell us when it's happening. So if you are writing about something that already happened, all of your verbs in your writing should be in the past tense. A lot of times on regular verbs, it ends in an ed. So if the verb was walk, it would be walked in the past. If I'm writing about something that's continually happening or going on right now, we would call it the present tense. So your verbs in your writing need to all be in the present tense. So if our verb is walk, walk is the present tense. If it hasn't happened yet, but it's something that you're talking about is going to happen, that's the future tense. And we usually use the word will that goes along with those verbs. So I will walk in the park. And if you're writing about something that is going to happen, all of your verbs in your writing need to be in the future tense. We've gone over all of this. I know you know this. It's just a matter of looking it over in your writing. We've definitely talked about the run-on sentences. Remember, we have lots of great ideas, and sometimes we forget to separate them. And so the sentences are running away from us, and we don't want them to do that. So we have to break them up with our punctuation, or if so every sentence should have one idea or two ideas, but they have to be combined with a conjunction word and a comma. So the other punctuation mark that you have to really pay attention to in your writing. Okay, so make sure that you don't have sentences that have too many ideas in them. If you do, you need to go back and break them up, or two ideas linked with a conjunction word and a comma. In the same way, you don't want to have a sentence fragment. That's just, remember, fragment is a break, so it's just a break, a piece of a sentence. You need to have all parts of it. Every sentence should have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay. And finally, many of us are home and there's lots of fun things to do at home. So we're just writing super quick, and we're maybe writing 2 or 3 sentences. In 4th grade, you can do way better than that. You can write 5, 8, 10, 15 sentences, a page, whatever it is. You can definitely give more than a couple of sentences. You should have lots of details with specific examples. There's a saying, the difference is in the details. So give it to us. Give us the information that you want to share. Give us adjectives. Describe it for us. Paint a picture in your reader's mind. You guys have done this before. It's just a review. And Mrs. Corwin and I are going to be sending you a Google Doc with all of these things in it. A little brief explanation of the things that I just went over. And I'm hoping that you remember to do them in your next writing assignment. I can't wait to see them. Bye.